So first and foremost, one of the things I like to look at is the telos of the song, which is the purpose. Why was this song made? So to me, this song was an example of like they had an actual creative idea and they wanted to execute on it. And that was having this dark, eerie song that just builds and builds until it finally like explodes. And they use the rapture as the sort of metaphor to justify this type of song. And yeah, they just, that's what they wanted to do. This doesn't feel like a song that they would write to be a single. This feels like they actually had some type of creative vision for it that they wanted to execute on, and they did. The genre is modern metal. This is just pretty normal modern metal. The song structure is very standard. It's just your the only unique thing to me is that they have a pre-chorus at the beginning, but then they remove it on the second after the second verse. But what's cool about that is that the pre-chorus, having that single pre-chorus after the first verse, actually plays a very important role in the in how the song plays out, because that is like Amy's moment of revelation, so to speak, where she receives her or wills into existence her holy calling. So yeah, that was a good structural change. But aside from that, you just have verse, chorus, breakdown, bridge, chorus, outro. Nothing too crazy. Compositionally, I'm sorry, give me just one moment. I need to drink some water. So compositionally, that's where this song shines. This song is exceptional on a compositional level. The verse, piano, and synths are great, super weird and eerie and otherworldly. Really build that tension. The guitars all throughout the song are very driving without being too over the top. They kind of do exactly what they need to do all throughout. And then from a melodic perspective, this is probably some of Amy's best work on the album, especially the verses. I think that those verses are like again, when I was listening through the album and I got through the first three songs, I was like, yeah, this is fine. This is all fine. These verses basically just grabbed me and pulled me right back into the album. I was like, holy shit. Like, these are really cool. The way that she's using her rhyme schemes and her harmonies to accentuate certain notes. And then just the singing, the display of vocal skill, hi, which you can tell it's skilled because I can't fucking do it. So yeah, it's just cool. Like, it's such an interesting melody that she has there on those verses. Very captivating. So yeah, it was great. The breakdown is awesome. And then, so we have this crazy high highs, but then the low lows, these heavenly, and not low in terms of quality, but like in terms of intensity, where everything cuts out. And we just have these heavenly sections that contrast this like brutal, glitchy, tense, bulk of the song, right? A lot of cool dynamics happening there, and they all work really well. So yeah, from a musical perspective, this probably is the best song on the album, or at the very least one of them. This is a very, very good song. And to cap it all off, they've got a little guitar solo at the end, which, I mean, hey, I'm always down for some more guitar solos. Regarding the mix of this song, this is one of the few cases where the Fish Cervini bloated muddy metal mix actually kind of works. This song is dense and tense and claustrophobic in nature, and so it actually sort of makes sense to have those guitars feel big and like weighty to them, So I like thinking of stuff like this. They definitely didn't plan this, but you almost think of like it's weighing the people down. They're not able to go up to heaven because they're being weighed down by the guitars. That's why it works thematically well, I would say. And just something I don't know, I just thought of that. But anyway, yeah, the mix works on this song. Lyrically speaking, Amy uses the rapture as a metaphor for to tell this story of her coming to terms with her darkness, and in fact, seeing the light and changing herself, but then also as a way to judge, which she then goes on to judge the people who are not facing the darkness. In the plot of the song, she is raptured up into heaven and she looks down and says, sucks to suck. And that's that, right? And that kind of brings us into the theme. So the big thematic idea here is that obviously facing your mistakes, facing the darker parts of yourself, telling the truth, really, that's really what it's about. You know, don't lie to yourself, don't lie to others. And because there are consequences to that. And, you know, in this case, it is you will be raptured, right? Amy's gonna cast the bolt of judgment onto you. Essentially though, seriously, it's a cool theme. You know, basically being honest with yourself, being honest with others. Don't and not the honesty isn't just the whole thing. You need to actually change the behavior, right? So you can't just be honest, like, yep, I'm greedy, and then that's that. You're all good. It's like, no, you can't make money your God. Don't make money your God. Don't get the bloody jewel, right? So cool. Yeah, that's the theme. And so that kind of brings us to the final verdict. Again, I can't fucking read any of this because I talked about that climax and how it didn't hit, but now it does hit. I do like the climax. So yeah, basically this song is awesome. It's a great song. Very, very focused, very intentional with everything that they did. You can tell that they had a very specific vision that they were going for. They absolutely nailed it. Managed to make me like a breakdown, which is pretty cool. I usually think breakdowns are like bottom of the barrel writing, but hey, if you're going to call your song Rapture, you should probably have something that is befitting of that word, at least some type of climax or section. And I think that they did that. I think that breakdown is awesome. So yeah, overall, this is great. Great song. Kind of the standout on the album for me in a lot of ways. The album is really good, but, well, I shouldn't say it. The album is good. It's a mixed bag. There's some good, some bad, mostly good. I'm leaning towards like a 6, like it's an above average. I know everyone's gonna hate me for that. I know, but like to me, like a 7, 8, 9. A 7's above, like 5 is average. That's a perfectly fine album. 6 is above average. I know everyone doesn't like to hear that, like, oh, the album they like is average, but like, that's not a bad thing. It's a normal album, right? But when you get into like 8, 9s, and 10s, that's when you're talking about masterpieces. I don't think this album's a masterpiece, but I do think it's very good, very cool. And this song is like the standout track on it for me. This is the one that, like, after I finished the whole album, I was like, yeah, that fucking song, that was sick. I definitely need to do a breakdown on that. So yeah, it's definitely worth your time.